hands are clean. Got the raisins, got the onions, got the phone on the side over there far. Are we alive? Are we not alive? Is it happening?
You are alive, and lemons first. Hey, lemon.
Lemons first. Wow.
Yes.
All right. Normally it's, but Jody might not even be here today because they're prepping for the big barbecue thing this weekend.
True. I'll be back in a minute, Anton. You'll have to entertain.
All right. No problem. Well, good afternoon. Goeiemiddag. I'm going to just take a second. We'll wait for a few people to trickle in, and then I will give you the breakdown of what's going on. So we are live in our store. Of course, this afternoon when we went live, everything went completely insane because we got a pretty huge delivery of like 750-pound boxes that just comes in or came in. And I normally help with that, but now I'm stuck here behind the camera. So the girls are going to have to sort that out. And then, of course, we're going to probably have customers, and you're going to hear ding-dongs, and my kids are running around here. They're all crazy today. I don't know. It's like they ate sugar. I don't give them sugar, but I'm sure they stole sweets or something because they're all going insane. And you're going to hear ding-dongs, which is the customers. The big racket back there is a cart going past. So lots of action happening today. So today we are looking at making some chutney. Now, I can't give you my recipe because this is our actual chutney we make in the store. I'm doing a few tweaks to mine because I want to test something before we actually start this up, you know, like in a bigger production. But I want to test something and see what it does and how it tastes. So I can't divulge my recipe, but what I can tell you is there's no actual recipe for chutney. Like you can pretty much do whatever you want. What I can do, and I'll try and see if I can do that, I'll give you some pointers to ratios. The important part with this is you want vinegar and you want sugar, because that'll help make your product shelf stable. So vinegar and sugar are pretty important. Like with jam, you know, you don't have to use pectin in jam, which thickens it, but you could basically cook it down till it's the thickness you want. And remember, when it's warm, it's a lot thinner than when it's actually cooled down. But your main ingredient in jam that actually makes it shelf stable is the sugar. So you can use real fruit and all kinds of nice things, and then you can actually cook it down and make it thick, and the sugar will make it shelf stable. So I'm going to my peaches are still slightly frozen because we actually get these in frozen, and I'm going to use my small rondo, which is a 15-gallon, which we figured out last week. I couldn't remember what it was. I thought it was a 10, a 5 or a 10, but it's actually a 15 according to the model number at the bottom. So, so I'm going to put all the peaches in here. All right, my range is already hot, so I'm going to do that. And then chutney is a savory type jam. So you have this with curries, and you can have this with sauces. You can put it in sauces. You can have it as a side with you can have it as a side with whatever food, like steak or whatever. It works really well with chicken and pork. You can actually take chutney and you can baste it over the pork, and then you can cook the pork, and the pork will have a sweet, savory taste to it. And we're going to throw some onions and some raisins in there. So I've got onions and raisins mixed in this bowl. You get all the little bits of onion and raisin out. So, and we're not going to fry off anything, so you could just mix it in. All right, and then you can do some apple cider vinegar. Now, I've got a special in-house vinegar mix that I do, and after I put that in the can, I thought, well, I should maybe use that vinegar mix. That'll probably be better. So I'm going to go fetch that. I'm going to pour this out, and I'll get Nicole to help me with that. All right, and then the other thing we want is I have mustard seed. This is a little container, and it's full of holes. So I'm going to pop this in here, and when the liquid and stuff starts happening, it's going to cook that mustard seed flavor into the chutney. All right, so there's a little tip for you if you want something like that. Can I ask you a favor?
Sure.
Can you bring me a apple cider vinegar jug?
Okay.
And then in my fridge, because that's where I left it, it shouldn't have been in there, is my in-house vinegar mix. I want to substitute it. I think it will be better.
Got it.
Yes. All right. So I will put that in. Okay. And then we will get all of this. And basically, you just take this thing and cook it down. And that's as simple as that. But if your ratios aren't right, you're going to have problems. So let me see if I can do a ratio here for you quick. So you take your peaches, all right, and you want around 60% of the peach weight in sugar, all right? So 60% of whatever your fruit weighs in sugar. That's fine.
Is that the one?
My juice, yeah.
Okay.
There's an open one.
I wasn't sure.
Yeah, just the open one that's on the shelf, because I want to pour this back in.
Got it.
And it's not going to fit in the full bottle. And then so I use about 60%, and then on your fruit, on your peaches, and then your vinegar. And I've got 5 pounds of I've got 5 pounds of peaches, just for reference. And then you want I apparently can't talk to you, think and do math. The brain says no. Well, I can't count. All right, 30% vinegar. That's twice I did that math. I thought it was wrong, but you're looking at about 30% vinegar, and then you're looking at about 65% sugar. All right, now I've got a different type of sugar I'm using today, so I'm not going to disclose that, but you can use pretty much anything. I recommend using something like a Demira sugar, or you can mix brown and white sugar. That'll give you a nice flavor profile, because the brown sugar is normally 80% sugar, 20%, let me put this side, 20% molasses. Molasses. All right, so I'm going to take this. This is also going to make it nice and dark.
And you know these are not in view, correct? You don't want them in
Yes,
view?
No, I don't, because they look ugly.
I know.
Just the red one should be in view.
They're big jugs, though.
Yes, those are my spices.
I like big jugs, and I cannot lie.
That's correct. All right. So we're going to have to throw a lid on this thing so it can actually generate some heat. All right. So basically peaches, raisins, onions. Ooh, that's all over. That's just a smidgen over. That won't make much of a difference, but I'll pour a little back. What does that look like? Yeah, it's close enough. All right, let me put this one back. Yeah.
Same thing, right there.
Yeah, I just put it there, just like that. There we go. All right, so we put the vinegar. That'll give it some juice. Unfortunately, mine had to be in the fridge, so it's cold. Of course, ding dong. Crazy day today, and I bet you it's a kid.
Show them what that looks like first, and
all right.
I'll come help in a minute.
All right, you might have to stand behind that camera just because it's liquidy. Is that the kids?
I don't know. If it's a customer, I'll be with them shortly. How
either
about
a kid
them apples?
or a short person.
How about them apples? I mean peaches. What are we doing today?
Peach.
Peach.
All right, let me see if you can see that.
Beautiful, yes.
Let me see that. All right, so the vinegar is at the edge there.
Of course, you guys can't really see the vinegar.
No.
Kind of.
Not like that.
It's okay.
All right.
It's very visible.
I don't want to.
Yeah, the peaches look good.
Yeah. So we got onions, raisins, peaches. We got the little container with a, and I'm gonna jack this thing up because I want some speed today.
Did you all hear that? He wants to get jacked up today.
Yeah, I want to jack up the range. Okay. I was explaining to someone today that we don't call this a range, we actually call it a stove. And then I asked people around, I'm looking for a new stove, and everybody looked at me like I was completely insane, and was speaking a language that they have never heard. And I'm like, that thing you put your pots on in your kitchen, a stove where you cook on? We ain't got no stove.
See, but I grew up with stove too.
But I don't understand
why we adapted range.
I don't know what range. To me, the range is where you shoot your gun or where you smack your golf balls.
Rather shoot the gun.
Yes.
Rather shoot the gun.
So, all right. So I'm going to put a lid on this guy.
I was just looking around, wondering where it was. It was hidden.
Right, and I showed the people last week. Oh, there's a crumb of coriander on here. So that does work, but it doesn't work very well. This is apparently a thing, like your pot lids fit between the handle and the rim. But if you shake this thing, it will fall. It doesn't fit very well. So don't, like if you want to do that, you can do that very briefly. And it's apparently a thing with pots. I just saw it someday on the internet long ago, and I thought it's interesting. Just show people that. So I'm going to put some garlic, well, salt. So this is the first new change, is I'm going to do some Celtic salt, which I didn't do in the past. So that should amp up things a little bit. All right. So you want to do some salt because it is savory. All right. So salt.
And any reason to get Celtic salt in something, we're happy.
Always, always. I'm gonna just make it a tad more, because the Celtic salt's not as. Oh, I've got 10 million probes up there today.
Must be thinking of Jody.
Yep, I don't know where the other one came from. So I'm going to make that just a smidgen more. All right, and then what we're going to do is we're going to have some crushed red pepper for some zing, and it's not a lot, but we have a little bit. So
I would say more elevates the palate than anything else. Make sure you're awake.
Yes, it just has a background bite to it.
Yes, so subtle though.
Yes, it's very nice, and it gives it a nice look in the jar.
I agree with that.
You know, because you have these little flakes in there, so it looks interesting. But it's not a lot. I mean, if you really want to put heat in it, and you can do that, you can stick some serrano. Not serrano, cyan, and some cyan and some like whatever other, like maybe peri peri or something. I would use peri peri and chutney. Hello, boy. There's my son yelling at me. All right, so we're gonna have some garlic in here, and I use garlic granules. So here's a little secret for you. If you use, that's got a good flavor. If you use garlic. And you use powder or granules, and the reason I use the powder is I'm trying to stay away from too much organic stuff. You know, I've already got enough in there, so I don't want to like add to it. So I'd rather, and also this is a lot more consistent, so for production purposes the powders and stuff are more consistent. But what I wanted to tell you is if you want to use garlic, either powder or granules. I prefer the granules. All right. You have to, if you use spoons, garlic powder is a lot more dense than garlic granules. So you use more granules than powder. If you work on weight, however, all right, it is the same. And I think people sometimes get confused on that. So on a spoon, if you spoon like a teaspoon of garlic, I think, if I remember correctly, this is just out of memory, I think it's a 3-to-1 or 4-to-1 on the powder versus the granules, and the same with your ginger powder versus the granules, because of the little air gaps between the granules versus the powder. So the powder is a lot finer than the granules. So the powder doesn't have air gaps, and the granules have air gaps. So you want to be sure. It's like powdered sugar versus a cup of sugar. If you take a cup of powdered sugar, you know, that's a lot more dense than a cup of normal sugar. So you want to be mindful of that, if I can put it that way. So spoons or measures. Sorry, I'll be right back. I want to just grab my drink. So spoons or measures of powdered versus granule will be different. Weight will not, because you're not weighing the air gaps. They weigh nothing. You're just weighing the ingredients. All right. So here we go. Put those dudes in there. So I've got my salt. No pepper though, right? No pepper. So I've got my salt. I've got my red pepper flakes, but not black pepper or anything like that. All right. Oh, this is going to be good chutney. I can already just see it. All right. So now, why is there a fly here? Who invited the fly?
I think young people with the ding dongs.
Yes, I'm going to have
The
to.
many, many, many ding dongs.
Oh, that has been non-stop today.
I think the kids are on a mission, and the mission is to press Dad's last nerve.
They are very successful currently.
Something like
Right.
that.
Oh, and then I must put the sugar, of course. So I've got the ginger, I've got the garlic, I've got the mustard. Yes, we have everything but the sugar. And this stuff, hey,
Sugar?
sugar. The kids not getting none of this.
Nope.
They're too active already.
Can we put it on biltong?
The chutney, yes, it's in fact
We
very
should
good.
Dip it with, or dip the biltong in
It's
it.
very
I
good.
saw some chips the other day. Maybe that's what we dip the chips in.
All right.
If you eat that, young sir, you will be in huge trouble. I suggest you put it back.
All right. Here we go. So this is my experimental one. Go away. Well, if the fly falls in there, who knows? Is it a fly or is it a raisin? All right. Normally I put the sugar in first, not the vinegar, then the sugar. So let me just pop that guy up. Chaos, mayhem. But that's the fun of doing stuff live. This is how you guys know that we are actually doing this and not playing. All right. Let me put you there. You can go there. Right. Now, boil. I've got some heat going here. This should get hot real quick. Okay, what's going on in chat? Let's see.
Yes,
Who
you
says
missed
what?
out a little bit,
I know.
but that's all right. We had a raid from Bright Gaming. I don't know
Oh,
who in the
cool.
world that is.
Cool, cool.
Maybe someone from
Honk,
Canada.
honk from Canada.
Honk, honk.
Yes. Whose birthday stream is this weekend, by the way?
Oh, cool. That's right. Tomorrow, if I remember correctly. Yes, we do pay attention. At least I do sometimes.
Yes.
Sometimes I listen. And Hodave is in talking about your spoon.
Okay.
We do have JDL37, who is a new arrival to
All right,
us. So
JDL,
glad
yes,
to
he
have
is
you.
always on sticks.
Yes, he said he finally found it.
All right, thank you very much.
Dear Sarge is lurk listening, so
yes,
be
yes, I know
aware.
they are on their way to a job.
Woohoo! And Jody was here when you called his name. He popped in, said hello, reminded people to hit that plussy. And then I haven't seen him for a minute, so I am sure he is in the background doing his thing.
Yeah, they are cooking a huge amount of barbecue this weekend.
I would hope that means just more meat. I mean,
Yes.
I'm a lady who likes the meat. What can I say?
I know.
I
know.
eat
By
all
the
of
way,
the meat.
where's the meat? No biltong today. There's a space I leave right here.
I can arrange this.
We will get a little in a minute. It's not a good idea to cook this
Yes.
while eating.
So that's why I
You
didn't
shouldn't
actually
even
put,
be drinking.
I didn't put biltong out. I even left the drinks on a different table.
Yeah, I know.
On
I
a
know.
different surface. I was very mindful as to what he was doing. And Hodave is just waiting to make an inappropriate comment. Don't worry, you've already talked about it. I saw you in your gummies.
It's like any
And
moment now,
lids.
something will come up and I can say what I want to say.
Yes, get it out there. I mean, you can just talk about our big jugs here if you'd like.
Yeah.
Else, we can talk about the thousands of eggs we have, all of the meat, where's the sausage, how many sausage did one person have?
We got a lot of sausage.
A lot of sausage.
A lot of.
It is almost like a sausage party.
It is. It's not a party till the sausage comes out.
Speaking of, if you guys haven't had dried sausage yet, you should.
Yes.
Where would they find that, Anton?
You could go to, possibly, if you want to biltongusa.com. We have dried sausage, two types. Dried sausage and a cabanossi, which is like a, for lack of better wording, like a salami. But it's thin strips. So it's derived originally from what I could figure out, a Polish sausage called a cabana or a cabanos. And that is the South African interpretation of that said sausage. We make one here. It is very good. I think it is, out of the two, probably
Phenomenal.
my favorite. I really like it. It's more fatty. It's really good.
It's coarse. It's a very nice
Yeah, it's
texture.
a very coarse kind of texture. It's like salami, so you get the kind of big chunks, but it's soft. You can just chew it, and it's really good. But, and there's always a caveat, eat it with your better half because you're going to lots of
You're
garlic.
going to smell.
Yes, garlic. the one day, so you know, we are very aware. Obviously, if I eat garlic, she eats garlic, and vice versa, because otherwise, you know,
He stinks.
I stink, and she
I never stink.
never stinks.
No, I smell like
Perfect.
roses.
Always, no matter what she does, but I have to make sure she eats it so she doesn't smell me. And there was a little piece. I cut some for a customer for samples, and we had a bunch of. So I said, okay, let me cut one up, and I just cut little pieces. And I didn't even think about it. One was laying on the cutting board, and in my walk past during the work, I saw it there. It was there for a while, and nobody was eating it. So I just picked it up and ate it, and I didn't pay it any mind because, you know, it was just there, and it was asking really nicely. So the night we get in bed, and she's like, "Where did you have garlic?" And I'm like, "No, I never had garlic today." And she's like, "But I smell you." I'm like, "No, but I didn't have garlic. I didn't eat anything. There was no garlic in the food." I mean, we, for the most part, eat exactly the same thing. And I thought to myself, there was a 1/2 inch by a 1/2 inch little piece of cabanossi.
Yes.
And now I'm smelling. So be warned. Now when I sell it, I always tell people, just eat it with your better half.
I will say, though, I am very sensitive. I noticed my
Yes, but we
sniffer
had a
works
customer,
well.
a very good customer, who has banned her husband from any cabanossi.
Only when she's around.
Yes, when she's around.
If she's out of town on a business
He
trip,
actually comes and buys like
all the bets are off. He buys it by the plentiful. Now, I will say, I don't think it's because of the garlic aspect. I think there's other stomach responses when he eats a lot.
He has them, yes.
That's what I mean. He has them, but they make us chuckle with the bantering back and forth between them.
Agreed. So
now, Anho Dave, you haven't come up with anything yet, so when you have time, we'll take a joke from you. Bright Gaming, the birthday stream is tomorrow evening, and everybody is officially invited.
thank you.
Yes, I'll say everybody. I know you say you are, but come on, we can all come and play, right? And Russ is late, but he is in.
Hey Russ, welcome in, welcome in.
He's late and gay.
All right.
And Sith, hey, glad to have you.
Hey Sith.
Happy Friday.
Yeah, happy Friday, everyone. This was a hard week, man. This was a hard week.
Lemon asked a question.
Sure.
Do you add pickles or Greek olives
To my chutney.
I'm assuming that is the
No,
question.
I do not. But that doesn't mean you can't.
Yes.
Chutney to me, I personally think is like a stew. As long as you have your ratios correctly for your sugar and your vinegar, so it's shelf stable. I mean, you can keep it in the fridge. You don't have to keep it on the shelf, but we have to make a shelf stable one. So as long as your ratios are correct, and what I said was like a 60% sugar, 30% vinegar mix. So 60-65% sugar in that range, and 30% vinegar. You should be good. Then it should be shelf stable. You can put all kinds of other things. You might want to exchange because we go for more sweeter chutney. Now that doesn't mean you have to. So you could probably substitute the onions or the raisins for pickles if you want.
Yeah.
That might actually not be bad.
I will say though, have you explained what chutney actually is?
Yeah, I said
what
it's like a savory jam.
Okay. That's the best way to describe it. I know you say sweeter, yes, but it is so savory. Do I need to go get my own spoon?
No. But it's nice. That's very nice. I mean, it hasn't even cooked through yet. That is very nice. Woo! Man, the onions in the onions in that mixture just gives it such a nice depth of flavor.
Yeah.
So maybe don't take the onions out, just add the pickles.
Add the pickles. Got it.
That is very nice.
I like your thought there, though, Lemon. That sounds
Yeah,
very nice.
it's nice.
Else, you can always have nice pickles on the side.
Yeah, and also what I would suggest is just dice them up, you know, because I'm going to blend this, but you don't have to.
Phenomenal.
That is very nice. Wow.
I'm eating that tonight with biltong.
Oh, yeah.
So Antoine
yeah.
and I have been really good. Again, we're trying to behave ourselves and stick to our carnivore lifestyle, but I may give in a little bit for some honey
some
granules.
chutney.
Yeah.
In small percentages with a biltong.
Oh, that's
But
nice.
what I would suggest, so if you want the pickles to be prominent, blend your chutney, then put the pickles in. then you'll have the little chunks. But I would dice them in little, what would that be, like 1/8 little blocks. So you try and keep them uniform. You know, I mean, the way I would probably do that is chop the pickle in half, lay it flat, and then cut it in 3 strips, and then just chop them across and weigh it out. I always work by weight. I don't do the like 1 pickle, or 1 cup. I don't. I work by weight. Weigh it out so you can have consistency. That's the biggest thing. And I'm amazed. What's wrong?
I was just thinking, just for my friend Anho Dave, every pickle could weigh a little different.
Yes. Every pickle is different. Keep that in mind. So, but I mean, I'm amazed where I get and now I don't want to be nasty, because I know like people are different, but when I get like trained chefs that don't own a scale, like I don't like, it makes no sense in my brain.
Now I know a lot of people say they do the taste test versus cooking to a gram, but which one's going to be consistent? It's going to be the gram.
Yeah, well, the other thing is also, if your taste is out that day, or if you have a cold, if you smoke, that makes a huge difference in your taste palette, and just general, I don't know. I like to cook by scale that way. And also then, I can literally give that recipe to anybody, and I can say, okay, make that, just weigh it exactly the same, and it's 99% consistent all the time. And then what you should do is have a set, and we're working on that. I've got a little idea, but you should have a set temperature and a set cook time.
Yes.
So then everything goes in, a set temperature, set cook time, and then it comes out the same all the time. That's the hardest thing with something like this, is to have, because you've got to judge it by eye. But if you've got a preheat
sous vide concept,
yeah,
where
like
you
sous
know
vide,
the
like
temp,
or you have, well,
the...
if you have a like a crock pot,
yes,
or a because this, I mean,
they're digital nowadays. You can set it to a
Well,
temp.
the thing is, you just like cooking it down, so you can do it in a crock pot. You don't have to do it on the range here. I mean, my crock pot just is a little small, and it fucking cracked, so it went by the trash.
I was gonna say, it is no longer alive.
No,
it's in a dumpster somewhere.
Yes. Well, the thing is, because like stuff coming out the bottom, and I'm like, what is this? And I looked for the crack, and I couldn't see it. But when I make like a tallow, it was barreling out the bottom. I'm like, nope, this thing is broken. So I threw it away. But I mean, I would do it in a crock pot on a time or something like that if you want to be consistent. There are means to get around these things. I would not, however, make chutney in a sous vide. That is not what a sous vide is.
No, I just meant as a
like
stabilized, a concept of a
like
stable.
You just need something set temperature. So you want to preheat it to get your temp. You can use, is it Jody?
It's Jody.
All right, so at least once a day, if you use a probe, you've got to clean the tip. Let me get an alcohol swab here. Sorry, it's normally not that hard to get because I normally don't have a big table in my way. But so you, and I want to use this anyway because I've got to probe something a little later. Come here.
Do I bend?
So, but use a probe. Make sure you got your temperature right if it's not digital. But I would probe it anyway and just check and make sure that you're at whatever the temperatures you want to run. I would not boil this. Probably I would run it at scalding if you're going to do a long-term boil, like a long-term cook. Don't boil it. I would run it at scalding probably.
What is scalding, Anton?
So scalding, I'm boiling the crap out of this one because I want to get it reduced. So scalding is like it's supposed to be like 186 to I think 195, say under 200. So it's supposed to be under 200 degrees Fahrenheit. But above 186 is scalding hot. So if you've ever heard that. All right, so that's, I want to cook these peaches till they're soft.
Anton, we have another new arrival. We've got the real Encryptus in with
Hey,
us today.
Encryptus.
Yes.
Welcome in. So chutney today, talking all things chutney.
And it already smells so good.
No, it smells, and it tastes amazing. Man, that is good. I mean, it looks a little creamy because of the different sugar I used, but I think it'll be okay. Once I blend it, we'll see where we're actually going.
Yeah, that's the fascinating thing. So starting with, of course, the whole peaches and then going through a blending process, it it changes everything.
Yes, yes. Yeah, as soon as you blend it, man, it changes completely.
Yes.
What
Thickens
I
up.
like to do, yes, what I like to do is when we do a slow cook, like a roast, and then you take everything out and you actually take the sauce and you blend that sauce up like like oxtail
The
and stuff like
onions,
that. The
carrots.
onions, carrots, the base. You blend that up and you make
the
a sauce out of it.
goodies.
Ooh, it is so good. But what was I talking about? Oh, so consistency. Like try and get a preheat. I don't know, 186. Then you put your stuff in. You know, your ingredients, and you run it for 3 hours, and then you pull it off. Please go talk to that young lady.
I will.
My
We've got
kids
all
are
of the noises
completely
today.
insane today. I don't know what's going on with them, but they are definitely not getting any dessert tonight. That is for sure. So anyway, so I'm cooking. I'm boiling the crap out of this guy because I want to speed it up. Because I'd like to try and get this done by the end of the stream, or at least blend it so you guys can see what it looks like, and then I can always reduce it a little further. But it's not, I mean, this thing doesn't take forever to cook. You know, I think it'll probably another 15 minutes cooking should get the peaches soft. And then it's interesting, like it's what I found with this, if you haven't blended it, it's like it'll boil better. As soon as you blend it, you got to watch for it to burn.
So Slidey Pie has said hello as well, and I didn't miss it, but hadn't been able to mention. It's very important to clean the tip, of course. If you have boys, you should know this, and Cryptus informed us earlier. Slidey Pie does agree with that. It's important for
Yes.
the boys.
Hi, Slidey Pie. Welcome in. All right. So I've got, so just to give you the breakdown, like I said, I can't give you guys my recipe because of my in-house recipe, and I'm doing a bit of an experiment today. I've got a different sugar I'm using just to see. I'm trying to get cleaner and cleaner on the ingredient side, but man, the chutney is good stuff. So peaches, and you can use mangoes or whatever. There are tons of recipes out there. You can go Google them. You can play with the ingredients.
Apricots, I've seen apricots used too.
You can make chutney out of anything you want. Chutney to me personally is like a stew. So you could put in there whatever you want. If it tastes good, it tastes good. I mean, I know I think, why do I want to say like like an orange peel, what do you call it, marmalade? It's like an orange peel chutney. And there's all I mean, you can pretty much use whatever you want. I don't think there's any limit on that.
As long as you're hitting that sweet and savory combination to your palate.
Exactly. Chutney is a savory jam. You know, that's the best way I can describe it. So I've got peaches, onions, raisins in there. Lemon curd asked if we can put like olives and pickles, and absolutely, it's your chutney. You do with it what you want. I would just recommend keep a list of what you're doing so you can replicate it if it's real good. Because that's one of the mistakes I think as an amateur I used to make, and I think a lot of amateurs make, is they don't keep a list of what they did. And then you try and remember, and it was so good, and then you don't get to it. Then next week it's like gone, and you don't remember what you did. But so mine has salt, garlic, red pepper, mustard seed, and all kinds of stuff in it. I showed everybody. I got a little boiling like a boiling bag, but it's a metal container, and it's got holes in it. So I've got my mustard seed in there, so the seeds don't end up in the chutney and breaking someone's breaking someone's tooth, because those things, man. So I got it in there. I throw that away afterwards, but it cooks into the blend, so you get the flavor. And oh yeah, this guy is boiling away. Now I could probably turn the heat down a little.
I like when you open that pot up, though.
Yeah.
Damn. Nice catch.
Thank you, Spidey Central.
Showing off today.
Yeah, no spider web.
Slidey Pie is not crazy about raisins. Now, these raisins you may not be upset about if it's a texture thing, because what's going to happen to those raisins?
No, we're going to blend it. So it's more for flavor than anything else. I don't like using ingredients when I make. So if I bake, if someone says use X pudding or use X, like then I don't even read the recipe any further. Same thing with this. I don't want to tell you put X jam in here to substitute for the raisins, because if you don't have that jam, you have a different jam, then the flavors are different. And so I try and use base ingredients. So raisins, this one's peaches, onions, salt, no black pepper. So I've got salt, I've got red pepper flakes, garlic, mustard, a little bit of ginger. Is there anything I missed? no. And then I've got vinegar. All right, so I use apple cider normally. It's just the vinegar for that. But I make an in-house blend that I use in my biltong, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to use that. I just want to see what it comes out like. Seeing that I'm experimenting, I might as well experiment properly and use some of that. So, and I want to see if I can just improve this a little more. Than it was very good, but I want to see if I can make it a little better. And I try and standardize what we do. So, you know, there's minimal changes. So the process is always the same, and just the few base ingredients change. And that way it makes it simpler for production. It makes it less ingredients. So if you have different things in your recipes, you know, you got to carry stock of all of these
it makes it more versatile for uses as well.
Yes.
Because chutney, a lot of the South African recipes, you guys have heard Anton mention chutney specifically as part of the recipe. Preferred one is the one he makes, but it's been a minute since he's made it. So
yeah,
we will have some of that. I see in future streams as the main ingredient for different things, like that bobotie you did on Sunday.
Yes, yes. So when I used to make bobotie in my store, you know, in the restaurant, and even after the restaurant, when we used to sell it as a whole pie, people just used to come and pick it up. I actually used my own chutney because it's too expensive to use the store-bought ones. Even at our cost, it's too expensive.
Yes.
You know, and not always available. This is the other problem. So I can make this.
So we have a question about different items. Do you use these in your chutney? Umami, U-M-A-M-I, parm rind mushroom powder.
No
fish
mushroom.
sauce.
I haven't used any of that. No.
And Russ is making sure you tell us how many soybeans go in the recipe.
None.
But Lemon says the same amount of soybeans and chocolate chips going.
Okay, we can try that on your stream.
And then you must eat it.
Yes, then you must eat it. This is, I feel like sticks with a candy corn. It's like, nope.
Some things we just don't do.
Yes.
Why
is the
chutney
chaos that
supposed to be chunky?
You can make it chunky. I don't make mine too chunky. I try and make mine a little smoother.
Can I show them this one? Because this isn't, I mean, it's barely chunky.
Yeah, it's a little bit chunky. It's not massively chunky.
Let me see if we can get a view for you guys. It is not very chunky at all. Why don't you move that over?
I do, but I set it right on the side. I don't know if you guys can see it.
It barely has chunks to it. So this is obviously mixed or blended down as well.
Yes. So I'm going to open the... You know what I'll do? Let me leave this closed 5 more minutes. Let that heat really steep in there.
Okay, Worcestershire sauce is another example of umami, however you say that. I'm saying it wrong.
Well, you can use, I mean, you can substitute the vinegar for the Worcestershire. Yeah. My problem is with what's in the Worcestershire.
Yes.
So I don't have a problem with Worcestershire. I have a problem with what's in it. And the cleanest one I found personally, not that I want to advertise anybody, is the Liam Parents. I looked
Which is the original, if I remember correctly.
I think so, yeah. I looked at like probably 30 different ones. There was one we could get, but we had to buy it in barrels.
Yes, I remember that.
And I tried to order this thing. It was over $1,000 for this barrel. It was,
we couldn't reach out to the company. I don't think they were.
No, we reached out. They never applied. Yes. But it was, but I think it was Liam Parents. Yeah. But they had a barrel, like a 44-gallon barrel or something, big barrel. And I was like, yeah, because the other problem with you know, if you make it at home, it's fine. But you know, with production work, you got to keep your costs of your ingredients down. Worcestershire is expensive. But there's nothing wrong with putting that in, you know, if that's your thing. Just watch the ingredients. You know, if you don't want soy, if you don't want corn syrup and stuff like that, that is most of the Worcestershires in the US. I think the Frank's one definitely has either one or both of those in. The Liam Parents have none, but they got anchovies in theirs.
Yes, and that's the other thing. So speaking of
allergens,
fish, allergens. So if you are looking to give something that could be very versatile as far as palates go and who can consume, have to be mindful of allergens, and fish is a standard one that must be on food labels. Yeah,
so we try, and I mean, again, for home use, of course, not so relevant, but you know, we cook commercially. I just turn this thing down.
But that's why you wouldn't use it.
Yes. Yes, I wouldn't use it
Yeah.
because of the allergens. And the thing is, so if you have that, allergen in your food, and now you use that as an ingredient. So I make
Everything
chutney,
trickles down.
and then I use that in another dish. I gotta list all of those ingredients that's in here plus what's in the other dish. So you got to put the allergen on. As I just want to go fetch the stick blender.
Okay.
You still got to you still got to list those allergens on the main dish. The only thing, for some odd reason, you can get away with not doing that is sugar. So if you don't personally put the sugar in, but ingredients contain sugar, you can say no added sugar. That is an interesting one.
That's quite a caveat.
Mm-hmm. So keep that in mind. When something says no added sugar, that doesn't mean there's not sugar in there. Just as a
the more
FYI,
you know. Yes.
You know, so.
But food companies would never lie about their ingredients.
Nope.
Or deny what is in there. So you eat at your own risk, shall we say?
Yeah, there's, the thing is that people overreact to a lot of things. Like, I know a lot of people are opposed to sugar, but if there's a little bit in there, sugar's been around since.
Is it not a preservative,
a very long time. Yes, it's a preservative.
What does it do for preservation?
Well, what it does is it removes mold by osmosis. So it removes the moisture out of the product, thereby helping with its preservative properties. So, a little bit.
And maltodextrin is higher on the glycemic index than sugar and counts as sugar.
Yes, but dextrin is a
starch.
A starch.
That's the problem with that one. So there's a lot.
Doesn't have to have gluten in it,
no,
but it is a starch. And that's they normally use it as an anti-caking agent.
It's found in most spices, but
lots of spices.
What spices don't have that in there?
Our spices. Yeah, we've got a whole list of spices, and it has mostly clean ingredients.
Would you believe on GirlsOnUSA.com?
Yeah, the blends we get from some of the companies, they have something, maybe something here or there, like the peppery seasoning, which is not it's not one we developed.
No.
It's one we buy in and we bottle. But the salt's clean, the what's the name, peri-peri is clean. All of
that, yeah.
A lot of South African, well, I don't want to say South African.
No, it's all.
All spices. They either have
anti-caking.
Like if you just get like a coriander, it would have dextrin in it because it helps with anti-caking.
Curry powder. Ooh. First ingredient on most that we have seen is wheat, but we do have a curry that is just spices, just as an FYI. Now there is a comment saying that you can get a massive sugar spike from sugar-free food. Yes and no. So the biggest thing, when it's a starch will raise your sugar because starch turns into sugar in the body. So maltodextrin will turn into sugar in the body. So it is essentially a sugar as far as our body is concerned and how we process it.
I am being stupid. Just all that.
Woo!
Yes. It's warm.
Hot.
It's warm.
It's warm. Toasty. His non-fragile fingers do not feel that, but mine do.
So I'm just going to, and you can roughly blend this if you want. I'm going to more or less just blend it in.
Hey, Cool Frog, thank you for the raid. Glad to
Cool
have
Frog,
you.
thank you, yes. So, chutney, people, chutney. And I'll show you, this is actually coming out really nice.
It looks good. Let me go take a peek at those short people while you are working.
Our children are completely insane today.
In the membrane.
Yep. Now I hear that. Insane in the membrane. Working on Dad's absolute last nerve here. And you don't wanna get this too fine. You still want a little bit of chunkiness, which is why I'm not just going completely insane in here. I just want to break up the big features, And then let me reduce the heat here. And we're going to let this boil a little longer. And this stuff, excuse my French, but it's fucking hot. So, and this is sugar. So if you mix this and you splash it and it gets on your arm, it's blisters. You're not even going to get around that. So be really, really careful. And this thing, the stick blender sucks itself down and then doesn't work as well. So you've got to keep it just off. But then if you pull too hard, it pops out. You know, you guys can have fun with that one. If you pull it too hard, it pops right out. But I don't want to get splashed, man. This is going to burn the living daylights out of me if it splashes on me. So let's see. All right, and this thing has holes in the lid. It has holes in the bottom. I bought those, I can't even remember where. There we go. Right. Okie dokie. Gotta have another taste of that. You can see the way it bubbles now. And I'm not sure if you guys can see that. I should have maybe had this cam, man. But you can actually see how thick it is. And I'll try something, which is what you normally do is you put it on a plate or on a spoon, and then you rub your finger through it, and if it doesn't run, then it's good thickness. Excuse me for a second. I just want to go rinse this thing off. I will be right back. I'm not in front of the camera.
That's
I'm sorry.
okay. I'm coming back. I'm
All
coming
right,
back for
all
your
right.
entertainment. That looks really good. Smells
Oh,
good.
I did say, because I was having a hard time with the blender, you know, I don't want it to splash on me. So I was trying to keep it just off the bottom. So I said, if you pull it too hard, it pops out.
Oh, it pops out.
Yes.
Does that happen?
Yes.
Now, this is not as smooth as you guys would think.
No, I on purpose didn't make it too smooth.
Got that chunky texture.
Yeah. So just be careful. Just be careful if that thing splashes.
I know it's hot.
It's.
I will
just
not
said.
Burn myself. I will just play with your hot juices over here.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I said if this splashes on you because it's sugar. Yeah, it's not gonna play.
No.
It's going to. There where it falls, it's a blister.
Yes, we've learned that with
Oh,
the
yeah.
few years of cooking.
There was something that I wanted to do with that. What was it? I just had a plan, and then I was thinking blisters, and then I remember pulling a tray of. You remember that?
Barehanded.
Woo. No, not the barehanded one. I did that also once. I grabbed a.
You
tray.
had just set it down or something,
Yes.
and then you went and turned and grabbed it.
Yes, I took a
It's bread, wasn't it?
tray or a pan out of the oven full of chicken, and
And you didn't drop it.
no, and it had a lot of sauce in it, and as I was putting it back, I tilted it, and the sauce, the oil and stuff ran out and ran over my arm. It's lots of English was
He
spoken.
thought he would see what could happen to the tattoos whenever they get buried.
Oh, that was interesting. Fortunately, I have a blessing that I don't really scar and blister and stuff like that too badly. I scar badly, but I don't blister.
No,
And I
you
heal real quick.
Fast.
I heal real quick.
Yes, we will have to tell them about your injuries one day.
Oh, that's what I wanted to do is the spoon. You can read?
Okay, Lemon was asking, so no oil, no butter, no grease of any kind?
None. None whatsoever. All right. Well, let me get a bigger spoon because I want to get a like a dessert spoon, but they can't see a dessert spoon, so I get a big spoon or a bigger
Get
spoon.
a clanking spoon.
Yes.
Because that's a big bowl. You could clank in the bowl if you'd like.
All right. So let me see. Ooh, you see? Look, splash on my hand. Don't worry, I already got a mark from another one that fell there. Probably also chutney. All right, so let me see.
So I'm going to give you this. You'll like it. My wife does this every damn day. I take something out of the oven, and she has to move it. She has OCD, and if it's not straight on the counter, she has to adjust it. We go through a lot of burn green.
So I just pulled my finger through.
Yes.
And then it doesn't quite run.
No, it's just dripping at the bottom because it's a lot. That was the real Encryptus, by the way.
Okay.
And have we told you about CDO? I wonder.
Explain.
So Anton and I both have a issue of CDO, I guess is the way to put it. When
that is a clean spoon.
When I
That's
first
nice.
met Anton, he mentioned, I cannot remember what the context was about CDO, but I was already familiar with the term. That is OCD in alphabetical order, the way it is supposed to be.
Yep.
So if when you really have a problem, and apparently we are two of a kind, and I hope there's more. Yes.
Wow, that is nice.
How did it get so clean exactly?
I was not going to do that on camera. I just licked that old spoon right clean. That is nice, man. All right, so that is chutney. And you know what I can do? I can stick a little bit in a bottle, but I have to wash my hands.
Yes.
I've got
And you
some
cannot
clean
use
bottles.
the spoon.
No,
This,
not that one
and
anymore.
just to give you guys an idea, that's a big spoon.
2 licks and it was done.
Reminds me of the old lollipop commercial. It was always 3 licks, but that's okay. We'll take 2, I guess, on this one. Boink Mess, we have sold chutney in the store, yes. We are planning to bring it back, so that's why we took this stream as an opportunity to test a little bit different ingredients in his chutney just to see how it turns out. For Anton specifically, he'll run you through everything, but of course we cannot give absolute exacts because it is something we have here in store. So coming back, right? Potentially?
Yes. Yes, yes. We want to bring the chutney back because it's very popular.
And we make 2, a mango and peach. They are very different in taste. Very, very different. And Neuro has arrived. We have missed you, good sir.
Hey, well,
Thank you.
at least he's here.
He is here. He said he was having trouble getting in. So
Okay.
I hope no one else, well, I don't know if anyone else has had that issue, but
Hey, last week was not good.
Encryptus did say he had to restart a couple times, so.
Yeah, Rumble, I think they're just growing faster than they really...
Do you want the funnel?
No, I don't need the funnel. Well, yeah, I guess.
You want the funnel?
I mean, I'll work carefully. It's only 1 bottle.
I know, but you're asking for a mess. Do the same thing. It is clean, but not sanitized.
All right.
Sanitize your table.
Just sanitizer everywhere.
And Boink Quest, yes, we are still off of 114 for now.
That's the thing. If you package, so a little tip for everybody who wants to do canning, unless you're going to boil your cans, you know, which will sanitize them, you got to make sure that all your stuff, all your equipment, everything is sanitized. I normally wear gloves, but I did sanitize my hands. They are clean. I'll sanitize them again. I just washed them. Sanitize them again. All right. This is actually the wrong funnel, but
I know it
use
is, but it's the one that I saw close
What
by.
was the weight on these things? 500,
Ooh.
540?
I know it was right around a pound something.
Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we do a new weight on these things. All right.
Just as an FYI, Neuro did say, please disregard his message.
Which is what?
Just, he sent you a message.
Oh, okay.
Disregard.
All right, no problem.
I'll take a moment while you are filling that jug there. Sorry, can. Bottle. What do you want to call it?
Yes, can.
Can.
Glass can.
Reminder to go to biltongusa.com. I see Neuro has thrown it out in chat. Get your biltong at 10% off using code S.T.F. 10. That's going to be on any of the 8-ounce or 2x8-ounce bags. Could be plethora of items. Please keep in mind that's not the small ones or the ones already on clearance, but we do have some discounted items as well. And the fruit and spices, if you haven't checked out the site, Anton's been busy.
I think it was 500. See, so I still got a few like whole raisins in here because I haven't blended that hard.
He didn't blend it hard, in case you didn't hear that.
Yes. Yeah, 500. There we go.
Beautiful.
All right.
Having flashbacks of canning days.
Oh, I don't know how many of these bottles I've filled. And then the one other tip for those people who want a can, sanitizer, you can use hot water.
Clean the tip, I mean the top.
The
Rim.
top.
Ooh, he's rimming
Rim.
it.
Yes, I'm rim job. All right. So now my biggest nightmare is sealing these things.
If you haven't done a proper canning in boiling water, you have not lived.
Yes.
What would you say?
Correct. So there we go. Let me
Take
see.
it closer.
Yeah.
Yes, let them see.
So there we go. Chutney, and I would suggest probably like cooking this down a little longer, but I wanted to show you guys, so I hope you can see that. So you can see the nice, so some raisins. You can see the nice little pepper flakes. Yeah, see if that's nicely in the middle. This thing's
Why
hot.
don't you come closer?
How about that?
Down a little bit.
How about
Yes.
that? All right. So you can see all the nice little
It's
pepper
hot.
flakes. Oh, it's hot, this one. It's burning me fingers, man.
Burning me tips, man.
Yeah, burning the tips, and I am not heat sensitive at all. So,
I won't touch that one. I'll leave it be.
well, I hope. I mean, this is a lot of chutney, so I wouldn't go with that much. But I wouldn't use canned peaches either. I would just buy. I mean, you can actually use fresh peaches. You can go buy them. You can.
Did you tell him that's where this whole adventure
That's how
started?
it started. So we had a tree, and the one year, this thing gave us like 1,500 peaches.
It was
Yeah, it just
ridiculous.
didn't stop. Because I trimmed it nicely. You know, I went by the Google at that time, which was probably 2016, 2017.
2017.
2017.
Because we, yes,
So in
2017.
2016, I went by the Google. And
Figured out what to do.
So I trimmed the tree nicely, listened to what the clever people say. This is before grok.
Ah,
So I trimmed it and really looked after the tree nicely. I gave it good food, and this thing just carried peaches, man. We got peaches, and then when the peaches came off, there came more peaches, and it's just peaches. So we got like from one tree like 1,500. So we used to sit at night.
I remember I was pregnant.
Yes, she was
I was
pregnant with
pregnant. That
Michael,
was
with our
2017.
oldest son, and she used to decore
Peeling
them.
and
Uh,
taking
Yes,
out the
and we
cores.
used to take the
Oh,
cores out and peel them. So we had a peeler, so we peeled every peach.
yes.
And it was the red peach. We call them nectarines, the red
Yes.
peaches. Peel the peaches, take the cores out, the pips. What do you call them? The
Pips,
The
yeah.
pip. You take
And
the
if
pip
there were
out.
friends, take out the friends.
Yes, and then of course, every now and again you find a worm looking back at you, so you got to cut that out. And then, sorry, we just got our pickup. So take the worms, the friends out, and then we actually made jams and chutneys, and that's actually where this whole thing started. And now, now it's a commercial thing. So this will get a label. We'll seal it, and yeah, that is basically that. So we'll definitely have some of that with our dinner tonight for sure. This is good stuff, man. I tell you something, the flavor is really nice. So I mean, if that's something you want to make, try it. Like I say, it's a stew. There's no real right or wrong way of doing it. You can pretty much put in it whatever you want. You can use mangoes. You can use peaches. I don't know if you'll get, probably at Costco, Sam's, some of the bigger stores, maybe Walmart, maybe, I don't know, like you get these bags of like diced, like peach, not halves, what do they call them, like peach slices, or you get diced mango or whatever. It doesn't really matter, because if you're going to blend it, it doesn't really matter what you put in there anyway. How long has he been outside?
No, I think he just got here.
Oh,
I
okay.
checked at 5
All right.
when
all
I
right.
was with the dude.
Okay, no problem. But yeah, so you can do slices, you can do dice or whatever. It doesn't matter, as long as you cook it well and then you reduce it down a little bit. And I think this one's okay. It might be a little runny, but that's not necessarily a bad thing.
It is hot though. When
Yes,
it does
when it
cool,
cools,
it thickens. a
There's
little
sometimes you think it's runny, it cools, and then you can take that jar and turn it upside down, and nothing comes out.
bit. I
So
chuckle when that happens,
yeah.
but there's no gelatin in
No.
it. There's nothing or
Yeah.
whatever.
So I mean, you guys saw me make it, so it's all good. So yeah, I think that's that. We're probably gonna have to feed our kids, otherwise they're gonna start throwing stuff at us.
I think so.
Yeah, and I think that's the end
All
of
right.
that. All right. Well, I hope that was at least informative, if not a little bit of fun. Less things we can say when when we're not working with the meat. So just quickly, is there someone we must raid? I don't know if we want to raid somebody.
Let me do that.
I mean,
You
Nero
guys
or
tell
Encryptus.
me, is there anyone I can hit up after this?
Yeah, because I mean, I don't want to.
I've now learned how to do it.
Well, Nero or Encryptus can also do it.
That's
if they've
true.
If they've got someone they want us to hit, I don't mind. We can pass we can share the love. You know.
Always happy to share the love.
There we go.
Anyone? Anything?
Anything?
Going once? Going twice?
Yeah, I mean, I don't mind. We can if you guys want to like get passed on, passed around a
we
little.
were talking about a sausage party. Now we're passing around the stream.
Yeah, this sounds like Diddy's court case, man.
Woo-wee. All kinds of interesting things going on around here.
Yeah. So yeah, if you guys want to get bounced over to another stream, we'll do that. It's completely up to Nero and Encryptus. I mean, I know we don't have like 1 million people. We are not a Viva or a Styx or a any of the main guys a crowd.
We don't have a long list of people to hit up.
Yes. So
don't worry, Nero is on it. I have no doubts that you will take care of us. But Miss Handman likes your kitchen.
oh, thank you.
Yes,
Thank you.
It's very nice.
Thank you.
I
Yes.
like it.
Yes.
Uh,
Yeah, this is our old commercial kitchen
yes.
where we used to cook for our restaurants.
Lots of stainless
Ding-dong.
steel.
Yes,
So
lots
I'll
of stainless steel.
go play with the ding dong over here, and you, Anton, can manage from here.
All right, no problem. So yeah, hopefully, as soon as we move to our new property, we can replicate that. The hardest thing is this thing. Very expensive piece of equipment. I have a 12-foot one. This is a 8-foot. I have a 12-foot by 48. So 4 foot by 12 foot. This is about a 2.5, so maybe 30. Yeah, about a 30 by 8. These things, not to buy them, to set them up, very expensive because you have a stainless steel pipe going out into the extractor, and you've got fans bringing air in. So it's a whole thing, man. It's a whole thing. So all right. So Nero will take care of the raid. I will put this here where it's clean. And that will be that for the evening, people. So go have yourself a great weekend. Join us Saturday, please, or not Saturday, Sunday. Whoever is still left, join us on Sunday. We will be live at 3 o'clock, and we will see you then. And remember, subscribe, like, share. Go to Biltong USA. Buy some biltong. It's good for you. All right. I'm going to go finish up and get my kids some food because otherwise they're going to get upset with me. All right, I have no idea what we're eating tonight, but because normally I make what we eat, but I didn't do that tonight. We can't eat chutney. That'll drive the kids insane. All right, so see you Sunday. All right, I'm going to go kill this thing.